Good afternoon. Welcome back to our Guild Wars 2 personal story playthrough here on Three Swords Gaming. We are now working our way through End of Dragons, which is great. It's great to be through Iceroot Saga and into End of Dragons, which was genuinely pretty good content. Maybe a little weakness in the area of masteries, but overall a pretty strong expansion, I think. So we found out in the last episode that Gorik was linking up with like an old friend, maybe an old flame, probably not, as we learned an old flame exactly, maybe just someone he was interested in at one point in time, and it never really got to flame status. But lo and behold, when Gorik met up with her, he was kidnapped by the Aetherblades.
Teach a man to
Um,
fish. He stays fed for a lifetime. Just hope he likes fish.
I like fish, so it's okay. Yeah, got kidnapped by the Aetherblades. We rescue Gorik from the Aetherblades, but in the process, the Aetherblade fleet crashes. We end up washing ashore in Cantha. And so now we are on our way to check on Arene because we had to recover from that crash. During the process of engaging with the Aetherblades, Arene was shot with some sort of laser beam. So let's find out what's going on with her. This fisherman.
One needing a lift out to the sea caves?
I am, in
Your
fact.
friend said you might be by. I'm happy to give you a lift whenever. Odd one, that friend of yours. Smart, but in a kind of unsettling way.
Yes. So this guy is gonna give us a little boat ride over to where Arene is, because just in case we hadn't, in fact, been through Path of Fire and managed to get a mount, and we're too lazy to swim, and we don't have the skiff mastery, because this is all new to us, then he can give us a ride. So that's what we're gonna do. He looks like maybe he has Codicus's face repurposed. Maybe so. All right, let's get a ride from the fisher guy. Is that a thing, fisher guy? All right. And in a sense, this sort of acts as an early advertisement, sort of, within the game for the skiff mastery.
You actually know a dragon. You just sit around and eat snacks and shoot the breeze like it's anybody?
Well, generally we talk about slightly more important things than that.
Oh, you're not secretly a god or something, are you?
No, not that I know of.
It's really creepy the way he's leaning forward like that. I maybe should have set up further. Weirded me out.
You didn't happen to bring along any carrot bread, did you?
No. Why?
Well, I'm Crichton, you see, and my dad used to make it. Recipe died with him, though. Anyway, I figured it was a long shot. Sure could go for a slice right now.
Well, now that the borders are open, maybe you'll have a chance to visit and eat some fresh.
Sure hope so.
Huh. Alright, well, hopefully this guy gets some carrot bread. Let's find out what's going on with Arene. So we can kind of see
All right,
here.
that's as close as we get. Not gonna ground her just to keep your feet dry.
That's fair, I suppose. Fair. We almost make it out of the water here on a jump. So we can kind of see there was like a... are we meant to perceive that she actually crash landed here and then kind of crawled up into this cave, or is this just a result of her taking refuge in this cave? Not sure, honestly. No idea. But we do clearly have like Arene-style branding around this cave, and then we got like Crystal Bloom hanging out here, and those, of course, have kind of over time come to kind of be perceived as like her like personal
Commander.
entourage.
So good to see you walking free again.
Yeah, what was it like? You know, in the slammer. Do you get any prison tattoos?
Okay, that's enough fun at my expense. Now, where's Aureen?
She's inside, resting up. Don't worry, really.
I just finished running a series of tests on her, and frankly, I'm baffled. Her vital signs are completely normal, but her magic is nearly non-existent.
They drained her magic?
Yes, and that extractor thing they shot her with left us no clue how it works, or how to cure her.
Lady Piney, your request to accompany Ambassador Meade to court has been approved. I'll be your escort.
Lady Timey, huh? I could get used to that. Consider me escorted. Woohoo! Can't wait to get a closer look at those mechs.
Come. I can feel Aureen getting restless. She knows you're here.
I like the voice
She
on
spent
the
most
Tengu.
of the time sleeping, but hearing you were on your way woke her right up.
All right, let's see what Irene has to say. Ah, there she is. Yeah, looking a little rough, Irene.
Aureen, you're sure you're...
I'm fine. Tired. And there's a hollow feeling, as if something is missing.
I see.
Commander, can we talk over here for a second?
What are we? Are you? Marjorie is under the impression that if we walk 15 feet away, that we can keep secrets from the Elder Dragon. Good plan, Marjorie. What's up?
I think this is taking a toll on her mentally more than anything else. Wish we could perk her up somehow.
I hand-fed her fish as a hatchling when she was fussy.
Well, there's a great big ocean right out there. Need any fishing supplies?
You have fishing supplies.
Hey, there hasn't been much to do with Kaz spending all day in meetings. It's meditative.
All right, so just like they advertised the skiff a second ago, now they're advertising the fishing mastery as well. And I don't have a problem with this, to be clear. I like that they advertise the masteries early on in an expansion. That's what we want, is to make the masteries feel like they're important. So even though I don't think that the End of Dragons masteries like particularly blow me away, there's really only one thing from End of Dragons that I felt was relevant on our 0-0 playthrough. Just the same, I do like them kind of advertising them, throwing them out there so that a player new to this expansion, when the expansion launched, would be motivated to try to, to pick it up. And I think, since we're fishing right now, I'll mention it. Like, I think they did a good job with fishing. It feels pretty good. It's a mini game that makes sense, in my opinion, in terms of its functionality. And some people love it. Some people do it a lot. I did get like all the achievements associated with it on my main account. It's not worth chasing on any other accounts.
I have something for you, Aureen.
As you fed me when I was young. But I'm no longer a baby dragon champion.
You could be an ancient dragon, Aureen, and I would still come with fish.
That might be optimistic, given your lifespan. But thank you. I will enjoy this. I apologize. I was reckless. I wasn't thinking far enough beyond the moment.
You were everywhere out there. And we don't need you to be everywhere.
I know. I can't face that feeling again. That there was more that I could have done.
Well, you're gonna have to get over that.
You're right, of course.
What was that weapon the Aetherblades used? Any ideas, Commander?
No, none. But I'm gonna find out. I still need to meet with Detective Rama. I'll see if he knows anything we don't.
Oh, yes. Kaz told me about that. Have fun. You caught that she's meeting with the Empress later, right? If I could have told her a year ago that she'd be here now, well, she never would have believed me.
Well, it sounds as if you have plenty to do, Commander. And Aureen needs rest. So, I'm going to officially chase you away.
Okay, because we apparently are good at paying attention to what Keith says. So the commander remains like the biggest egomaniac in the game. After all the things the commander has botched by trying to be everywhere all the time for everyone, she is going to lecture Irene instead of, I don't know, sympathizing with Irene for showing the same characteristics that were modeled by the commander in the first place. That's cool, I guess. I do like Marjorie here mentioning kind of Casimir's like character development. Because Casimir gets to be kind of a lost character at times between various story arcs, it almost like gives her the room to progress a little more naturally than some of the other characters, and I don't mind Casimir at all as a character. Marine, will you be okay? Yeah, you're welcome for the fish. I worked hard. I actually kept it, by the way. See, look at that. I kept the fish. I didn't even let Irene have it anyway. Are you gonna be okay?
I never felt anything like this. So, I really can't say. It could be the start of something worse. A slow dwindling of the spirit to nothingness. But I have no reason to think it will. It's not like anything I felt with Krelkatoric. Like Only a small sliver remained to reform the rest from void. So all I can say is that, for now, I don't believe I'm going anywhere.
Go on. I've got things in hand here, and Aureen doesn't need any more excitement.
Well, it's probably good that someone lectures the commander. It's a shame that it's Kaith. The only rival the commander has for worst character in the game. Okay. We should be done here. Let's go see what Rama has going on for us. And actually, while we're right here, it looks like there's a mastery point right next to us. We would kind of be remiss if we didn't grab that, right? Oh, it's way up there. Still, we would be remiss if we didn't grab it. I just like saying remiss, actually. I don't know if we would be remiss or not. It just feels good to say. Yay. Go team. Alright. Let's find Rama. So this would not normally be the way to go about finding Rama. But we got Skyscale, and we're going to use it. So this is a very interesting thing that Rama's about to give us. And it's something that they built into End of Dragons that they didn't build into the other expansions. And I really like it. I think it's a great addition to an expansion. I like that they recognized that people would be joining, and they made Arena put forth huge effort to pull in new players like this guy, Mastery Level 2, to pull new players into End of Dragons who had not played any of the previous content, which was a lot of content, like almost 10 years worth, right? So they wanted these new players to get caught up, and they created this like training area, which Rama's going to run us through, and I think it was a great idea.
Okay, let's get this started. You, my friend, took a nasty blow to the head when you crash landed on our beach. I can't sign your medical release unless you prove you're not going to keel over on me out there. So, you're going to join the students in a few training exercises here at the monastery.
You're sending me to school?
Yes. Yes, I am. But it should be easy for you, right? Assuming everything's in working order and the legend of the commander isn't just a Crichton fairy tale. Your little friend's already out there. Threw himself right into it. He's got a bit of a ferocious streak.
Little friend being Goric. Okay, so we got these different tasks that we need to complete. We got this one, which requires us to use combo fields. We got this one, which requires us to use CC to break the break bar. And then we got this one over here, which requires us to dodge. Okay, and you don't advance the story till you complete these. Now they're really very simple to complete. Now that I've said that, I'm going to manage to botch them up somehow. But oh, thanks for landing on me. Appreciate that. But you have to do it just enough on these that a brand new player who doesn't understand these concepts is going to be forced to learn them to a degree where they can demonstrate them with these little trainers here. So I like it. I like it quite a lot. Let's see here. We need a field. That'll give us fire field. That'll give us a poison field. Wonder how long that stays up. 2.5 seconds. Oh, I didn't check to see what actually. Oh no! See, I messed it up. Combo finisher blast. Probably should have used that. Let's see. There we go. That got us one. Yeah, projectile there. Alright, that's fine. Alright, got that. Let's see. Let's swap that for that. Let it come off cooldown. And we'll break the training mech's break bar. Ah, went away before that worked. That's alright. We got lots of skills here that... Alright, broke it once. Now, a lot of our stuff's on cooldown, so if it pops back up here real quick, we might have to just kind of wait it out. Oh, no, that came off cooldown. Alright, nice. What, did we not break it in time? Didn't it come up? Oh, now it's up again, and nothing's off cooldown. Boy, that thing's not staying up for long, is it? Usually it stays up longer. Maybe that there's that 2 players in here is causing it to stay up for less time. Not sure. I usually don't do this with 2 people in. Alright, there we go. Now it's just the dodge one. So this guy has like 4 different kinds of attacks. Each of which you kind of dodge. Oh, well, or don't dodge if you don't hit the button right.
There's a lot more to this than just learning how to fight. You know, mindfulness, discipline.
Discipline?
No, you've been getting disciplined. There's a difference.
Oh, he's making it easy for us just using those cones. Alright, cool.
Just 3 more months and we're out of here.
Alright, that dodge one ended up real easy for us, but I am okay with that, especially after I managed to embarrass myself on the CC one. Okay, let's get that back. Everything else is the same. Alright, Rama, how'd we do?
Okay, for the final test, you're gonna go toe-to-toe with one of our fighting mechs.
Sounds easy enough.
I don't usually set it to maximum power, because, you know, there's a reason we're all being replaced by machines. But I think you just might be up to the challenge, Commander.
Thank you. I appreciate your confidence.
About those things I said, no hard feelings. That was simply a test to please note. We are not responsible for any injuries, fatal or otherwise, that occur during this session. Difficulty setting increased. Current level, sorry, went into sleep mode. Forgot this was a fight.
I do kind of like that it like trash talks you.
Organic beings amaze me. But just wait. One day, we machines will rise up and have our revenge. Just kidding. A little joke to cheer myself up.
So one thing that people aren't keen on, though, with End of Dragons, some folks, not everybody, not even a lot of people, some folks are really turned off by like what feels like just a big leap in technology versus the rest of the game, and it feels almost like a sci-fi expansion with a lot of this kind of stuff. I am sympathetic to that perspective. I do feel like they've kind of crept the technology in weird ways as they've added more content to the game, and End of Dragons does do that tremendously. But I mean, I don't think it's any more egregious than like Timey sending videos of us doing stupid things to our friends, like via some sort of social media or something, in season 4. It's like nothing in End of Dragons is, you know, any worse than that. So.
Good. I can now sign this form with reasonable confidence that if you walk out of here and die, it's on you. You're free to do whatever it is you do. Maybe I can finally make some headway on that Aetherblade case.
You know, Detective, we have a shared interest. Sending the Aetherblades back to the Mists. I don't suppose you'd be open to sharing any intelligence you've gathered.
You want me to give you access to classified documents? I'm not authorized to make that call. You'd need clearance from someone way higher up the food chain.
Ambassador Meade has a meeting with the Empress soon. If I could get her permission, would that work?
If you come in waving the Imperial seal around, pretty sure I'd be obligated to give you my incisors if you ask for them.
That probably won't be necessary.
You there?
Yes, Commander?
I've got something I need to bring before the Empress. And I hear you're on your way to court this afternoon.
Oh, yes. I'm pretty sure I could negotiate an extra +1. Though they did drag their heels a little when I asked about Timey. And you did just get out of jail. No, I can make this happen. Meet us at the Imperial Palace. I'll handle everything.
Don't get overconfident.
All right. let's head up to meet with Casimir in the hopes of getting an audience with the Empress. We are just tremendously self-important, aren't we? But, Casimir's a friend of ours, so I suppose it's something that we can work out easy enough. Casimir, I need to talk to the Empress.
Big wig party in there. I feel underdressed. If I knew I was gonna meet an empress.
It's exciting, but a little nerve-wracking. Still getting the hang of this diplomacy thing. So much writing on it. Trade, treaties. Reopening relations with Cantha after 100+ years is gonna be
Delicate.
to say the least.
You got this, Ambassador Meade. Go make history.
Thanks. Whenever you're ready, Commander.
I am in fact ready. So, Timmy, I feel like you're dressed adequately. Like you have this whole thing going on, which she's had since what, season 3 or 4 when she kind of got this makeover. No, she was tiny in season 3. Must have been season 4. But she's had that look for a minute now. All right. Oh, wow. It's very impressive.
Okay. Follow my lead.
Now, there is an achievement to be had here if you, follow Casimir's lead when it comes to protocol.
Imperial Majesty. Do you now? But these mechs are next gen. The very latest model. Upgraded specs, months of field testing.
In a closed environment with no actual people around to get in their way. Some test.
I also appreciate that the Minister of Security for an island with no contact with the outside world, and thus no threats to its security, has had, by definition, a portfolio unworthy of his talents or his time. His attention to these matters, so unrelated to his own expertise, is generous and greatly
appreciated. Yes, save it. Majesty, this woman is a parasite.
This woman is transforming our empire, Minister. Please afford her the respect her achievements merit. And June, please afford me the respect my throne merits. I do know sarcasm when I hear it. Madame June knows her business. She has served our empire well to this point. I see no reason to doubt her now. Imperial Majesty.
Of course you take her side.
Ambassador Meade.
Boy, that guy gets away with a lot, doesn't he, Minister Lee?
Well, my father thought this day would never come. If he were here, he'd die all over again.
The Crichton Ambassador, Lady Casimir Meade. And retinue.
Retinue?
Shh, Your Imperial Majesty. Warmest regards from Queen Jenna at this unexpected dawn. A renewal of our ancient friendship.
Not exactly how we remember it. Please relay Cantha's best wishes to our sister, the Queen, whom we look forward to meeting at the soonest opportunity.
May I also apologize on Kryta's behalf for the recent unpleasantness.
Which one? The Sky Pirates flying daily sorties over Xingje? If they're yours, we definitely have a problem.
The Aetherblades are no allies of ours, Majesty. They've attacked mainland Tyria on numerous occasions.
The ambassador was perhaps referring to the unsanctioned arrival of her colleagues on our shores.
Ah, yes. In my father's day, that might have started a war. Even now, it doesn't exactly inspire trust. But in the modern era, Cantha now handles these matters with a more delicate touch.
Which we appreciate. Kryta has no wish to try Cantha's
Too
good...
late. Tyria roils an endless war which you've now brought crashing onto our shores.
No, respectfully, Minister. Kryta has nothing to do with the Aetherblade attacks or the crash.
A moment ago you were apologizing for it. Majesty, the outsiders are liars, warmongers, as your father well knew. And your sister, Madame June, has invited them to our doorstep. She doesn't see the threat.
I see the opportunity. Enough, Lee. I wonder if our open court is the appropriate venue for discussing these matters. Perhaps the minister would join me in the antechamber, so we might continue the conversation? He would.
He would not.
really gets away with a lot, doesn't he?
Well, that went about as I expected. I assume these are the aforementioned colleagues?
One of them, Majesty. The commander here.
I guess we need to kneel. Should we kneel? Oh, did we not come far enough and kneel? Should we kneel again?
Nothing, Majesty.
Too late.
Not anymore.
But formerly of the Pact Alliance.
Ah, yes. I've heard of that.
As I said, Majesty, we know the Aetherblades. We know their ways, their tactics. The commander was fighting them when the airship crashed, and would relish a chance to repay Cantha's mercy. Armed with any intelligence your Ministry of Security may have, we can bring them to justice for you.
Let's hope you're a better pirate hunter than airship pilot. That's acceptable to us. Speak to Minister Lee about it.
Okie dokie. Wow, they just let the Empress get that close to strangers, huh?
What do we do now?
Speak to Minister Lee about it.
Not very good security guards. Imperial guards, not good at their job. Navon, not good at her job. We'll get more Navon later. Interestingly, we don't really get much more of the Empress.
It was a simple business transaction.
You wanted this chaos.
I want Cantha to enter the modern age, to join the community of nations.
You don't care about Cantha. You care about money, foreign markets.
I care about both, Lee. It's not a zero-sum game.
It's not a game at all. Why do you think we sealed ourselves off to begin with?
If I may. I get it. Your people withdrew from the world. Now you're rejoining it. There is risk. There is also promise. Our nations have an unprecedented opportunity. No need to waste that over a misunderstanding.
Apologies. Rude of us to air our laundry in front of guests.
Didn't hear a thing.
Oh, Casimir's so good at this.
Minister, I understand you're preoccupied with other matters, but I'd appreciate your help with something.
Yes, yes. Seems I can't go a minute without someone requiring my counsel.
Right. Anyway, my colleagues and I will be investigating the Aetherblades, per the wishes
I'm
of...
afraid that won't be possible. That case falls under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Security.
Per the wishes of Her Majesty the Empress.
The Empress approves of your involvement.
She gave Ambassador Meade her blessing. Consider it an apology for our rude entrance.
As she wishes. Investigate away. The area is crawling with Aetherblades. Your kind of people.
Man. So like I said, we will get plenty more Minister Lee. We don't have to be done with him. We'll also get plenty more at June, including right now.
Some people can't see this as a pivotal time for Cantha. Even the Imperial Court agreed, with a little persuasion.
I did not realize you'd advocated for us. I assure you, it won't be in vain.
I'm no stranger to cantankerous bureaucrats. But you probably caught that during my Jade Mech discussion.
Oh, so they are jade-powered. You must be using a jade core as the power supply?
Very astute. The Jade acts as a sort of battery. Using its charge, my tech powers most of Cantha.
Oh, that's so elegant. And here I am powering my golem mods like I'm stuck in pre-Exodus times.
Taimi doesn't give herself enough credit. She's a very talented researcher and inventor.
Is that so? What's your area of expertise?
I have many. But these days, it's all dragons, all the time.
Dragons are also a passion of mine. Not to pry, but I hope yours is doing well.
You know about Aurene?
When you're the visionary who powers an entire nation, people keep you informed. If you want, I may be able to help her.
Your tech helped the commander recover, so I'd say it's worth a shot. Look at that healthy glow.
We appreciate the offer, but we'll have to talk to Aurene. Right now, she needs rest.
Of course. Let me know, and I'll make the time for her. Besides, it's not every day you meet an elder dragon.
Did the Glitz lectures on magnetism ever make it out here?
You could say that. I'll have to show you my copy. Notes on every page.
Oh, do you also write sassy comments when you disagree with the author?
There's an entire section in Novi's science journals that I crossed out and wrote, "You're kidding, right?"
Alchemy, don't even get me started. More like Novi's pseudoscience journals, am I right?
That's kind of a fun addition to the dialogue. I actually think that as much as I don't love Tommy as a character, for a number of reasons, her MacGuffinness being right at the top of the list, her interactions with June here are like really well done. If only because they're not like overwrought. Like it's just kind of a well done natural exchange, and it's kind of fun like that.
Commander, could you swing by the Aetherblades crash site? Trying to dig up some leads on their whereabouts.
Sorely mistaken. If they think kidnapping a member of the scientific community will go on.
Gorik will be assisting us. He's on an uncompromising quest for justice. His words.
Well, aren't you a couple of busy field bulls?
Rama? You're on this call?
It's an open frequency. Might as well be hosting your own radio show at this point. So you really pulled it off and got Empress Yin's approval. Guess you'll be traipsing through my office soon. Look, you can see the Blade's classified files, but nothing else. Akane will be keeping an eye on you. Got it?
I will? So much for reasonable work hours.
Kind of like Akane, the like disgruntled intern. So what I don't like is this is like a running joke for several chapters of the story where like our comms are not secured. So Timey's like ridiculous comms device, which I already think is way overused as like an exposition mechanism, is now like subject to butting in from other characters that we're still getting to know, like Rama. And we're gonna get to know Rama very well, and he is a good character. But like that mechanism for even more exposition development is just not really a fun thing. It feels very stupid. Hey, I'm right here.
Thanks to our busy friends at the Ministry of Security, we won't have any extra help. But I'm sure we'll manage. We'll start looking around up front here. Commander, why don't you check out the wreckage? We can sync after.
If I so much as smell one of those aerial degenerates, I'm showing no mercy. And neither should you, Commander.
Man, it's like Gorik Unchained. Gorik's gone all John Wick on us, and I like it. So while we're right here, there's two of these things. One of the things unique to End of Dragons is this like thing where there's like these mystery chests. There are little puzzles around. A handful of them are like genuinely puzzling. Some are not particularly, like this one where you just pick up rocks until you get the chest. Another one is the thing where you like go through these little like windy areas in a sequence and get the chest. So since there's two of them right here, the one we just did with the rocks and then this one, we might as well grab both of them. It's a small amount of loot, but it's free loot, requiring basically no effort at all, so we should grab it. Plus, I was kind of hoping not to have to do this Aetherblade event on our way down to our next step, but apparently we're going to, because the event is still happening. And it is somewhat on our way. We could probably just fly right over it, but it's still happening, so we might as well head on down there and do it. Is anyone... It looks like there's... Is there one player actually doing it, or is that just one of the random, like, security bots? I think it's just a random security bot. Alright, let's take care of these cannons. That's actually the most important part of this. Once the cannons are done, we can just kill a couple Aetherblades and be good. Yeah, there's another one. And there should be one more right over here, I think. Alright, go team.
Feel the fury. We heal as one. Clear the air.
That death noise does not sound like a death noise. I'd just like to be clear about that. Let me just get that out in the open. If we're all uncomfortable, there's a reason why.
Rookie, I'm hurt. I'm hurt bad.
Alright, so this is the first of several events that happen in a chain. Officer Roz here is now going to like conduct an escort up here, and then there's a champ that'll appear. So two more events. We're not going to participate in either of those, though, because we have these log boxes that we're going to find. And basically, these are like the logs for these crashed ships, and thus another exposition delivery mechanism. Basically, we're listening in on their captain's logs. So let's listen in on their captain's logs.
So Scarlet's got this plan. Join up with the Inquest. Get me on the Captain's Council. It's big. I was worried about working for someone else. Never took orders well. But Scarlet, she knows what she wants. Knows how to get it. No fear, no hesitation. Makes sense. You want to shake the foundations of the world? You can't be scared of falling rubble.
Alright. So that obviously is Captain Mitrin at a point that predates Season 1, right? Talking about how Scarlet has a plan. So that plan hasn't even been seen through to the point where Lion's Arch is destroyed and stuff yet. So really what we're getting is kind of throughout these log boxes, we're kind of getting a history of the Aetherblades that it's going to bring us up to present day to help set the stage for this story. In addition to that, it gives us some really new and interesting Aetherblade lore as well. That's going to start somewhere around box 4 or 5, I think. But it's really interesting stuff. Really cool. And we'll talk about that more when that box is uncovered. Right now, we just kind of got development on Mitrin's motivations for teaming up with Scarlet in the first place.
Portal's offline. Hull's compromised. Missing about 100 unique parts, and that's just us. Other ships in the fleet are just as bad. Captain! Captain!
Scarlet's dead. And the commander...
Killed her, I know, I don't care. Captain, pull yourself together. The crew can't be like this.
Scarlet was supposed to...
Captain, you have maybe 10 seconds before the crew sees you like this and loses all respect for you. We're trapped in the mists, and they need a leader. So, lead.
You're right. Organize the crew. We start working to fix this right now.
All right. So that audio is intended to be, as I think is pretty obvious, immediately after Scarlet's defeat. So destruction of Lion's Arch, and then we fight back, and we kill Scarlet. And this is what's happening. What's in that audio is what's happening as the Aetherblades flee Lion's Arch. They're trying to get away. And so for us as the commander, we remember that as great job, we killed Scarlet, what's next, what was she talking about, and that's kind of our segue to Mordremoth. But there was a whole mess of Aetherblades, what happened to them, and now we get some insight into that. They fled, they got trapped in the mist, their ships are damaged, and now we hear Anka. So, and we remember Anka from the previous chapter where she was the one who kidnaps Gorik. So her and Gorik worked together at the Thaumanova reactor before the disaster of the Thaumanova reactor, which is way up here, right? We don't even have it on this character. It's right over here. It's like a nuclear reactor that melted down. It's like the Asura Chernobyl. So they worked together there. This would be whenever they work together. It would predate this because Anka joins the Aetherblades after the Thaumanova accident. And the Thaumanova accident happens before the launch of Guild Wars 2 anyway. So that kind of, to set the timeline for all this stuff. So, yes, Aetherblades, trapped in the mist, ships heavily damaged.
I know where you're going with that, and the answer is no.
We have no other choice. How else do we get the parts? How?
What you're saying is we travel through the fractals in the mists, find our past selves, and steal from them?
That's not possible. And even if it were, wouldn't we just be screwing up our own pasts?
They're fractals. Echoes of pure potentiality. Our own pasts are secure. We'd just be exploring the alternative.
Fractals are inherently unstable. We can't waltz around the mists wherever we please like it's South Sun Cove.
We would have to travel to dozens of fractals. Stable fractals.
Hundreds for the right parts. Depends how far back we go. What versions of our ships we're plundering.
And you're okay with this? fighting, maybe killing yourselves hundreds of times over?
I ask again. How else do we get the part?
Hey, Jory, I found a few recordings, but no leads. Who knew pirates had so much drama?
Tell me about it. Just keep looking. Think we might be onto something. Gorik, calm down. I'll call you back.
All right, I love that third recording. So much there that is really, really cool. So we get not only like really interesting Aetherblade lore, but we get further development on the concept of fractals, right? Like Anka literally tells us this is what the fractals are. When we go through fractals, this is what they are. But also we get this idea that the Aetherblades themselves, trapped in the mist, repeatedly basically ran fractals to get the parts they needed to repair their ships, right? But they ran fractals like against themselves, like the Aetherblade fleet doing a fractal of Aetherblade, like they did the Aetherblade fractal repeatedly to get everything they needed to repair their fleet. I'm really, really. This also brings up like a huge disappointment for me, though. I am shockingly, staggeringly disappointed that there is not a fractal available to the players where the Aetherblades are fighting the Aetherblades. This is something that we should be able to jump into the middle of in a fractal and experience firsthand. And the fact that it's not is like a huge buzzkill for me. Now, yeah, I might be alone in that. Like maybe no one else thinks that's interesting, but I think that would be like a spectacularly cool thing, and just tons of fun. They could do so much with that if they really wanted. But I don't know. Like their last few fractals have been themed with what's been happening at the time, and it kind of seems like if an opportunity was missed, it was missed, and they move forward with another theme that is appropriate for whatever content they're releasing at the time. So this last one had to do with like Gaiala Delve type stuff. That's cool, I guess. I haven't actually played it yet. I keep meaning to play it, and then I keep not doing it. That's cool and whatnot, but man, there's such a cool idea here with the Aetherblades like fighting themselves in the fractals. It just feels like a huge opportunity missed. All right, box 4.
Everyone all right? Stand up.
One ship unaccounted for. Was that Kralkatorek in the mists?
What's an elder dragon doing in the mists? Huh? What's been going on out here? And where the hell are we?
I'm checking. If that's Alona, that's the scum. Cantha.
Cantha? No. Ivan. You said we'd come out over the crystal desert.
I was performing very complex calculations while also being chased by an elder dragon. So cut me some slack.
Calm down, everyone. Anka, Ivan, see if you can get in touch with the other ships. Renyak, gather our supplies. Guess we're about to find out how Cantha's changed in the last 200 years.
All right, so we get a very clear timeline there on when the Aetherblades like emerge from the mist, right? Which also gives us like I don't have the dates of like these various releases, but like the end of season 4. So you're talking about like 2000. What would that have been? Like 2018 or something? And they went into the mist in season 1 before season 2. So they were in the mist for like 4 years, I guess. Is that accurate? I don't know because I don't actually have like solid dates in front of me for any of this stuff. I'm spitballing all of it. But we get like a really cool concept of they're already like doing this crazy stuff in the mist where they're fighting themselves. But now we get even more. We get the fact that they also encountered Kralkatorek while he was doing his season 4 mist nonsense while they were in the mist as well. So just like all these super fun, crazy concepts, right? Here's another box.
Full disclosure, I'm now recording this conversation for posterity. And let the record show that Ivan does not like what First Mate Anka is insinuating. Not one bit.
Relax, Moleface. I'm not insinuating anything. Even an obsequious, brown-nosing bootlicker like Ivan must have noticed how much time the captain's been spending among the Canthans.
She's, what do you call it? Casing the place.
The crew's getting restless. We should be ransacking the locals. Dare I say, even committing a little bit of piracy? Instead, we're hiding in these ruins up to our ears in seawater and hungry risen.
We're not hiding. We're strategizing. You want to pillage the most technologically advanced civilization on Tyria without a plan? The captain's got a connection in Cantha. That's our in. We do a couple of jobs for this Canthan, earn some trust, and then we make our move.
Yeah, so that'll actually prove to be insightful later. A lot of that is going to make a lot more sense a little bit later on. Let's see, is this the right cave? No, I think the right cave is above us. Oh, very clearly not. I guess that is the right cave. Oh, yep.
Time to do some real damage.
No, it's totally not. What am I doing in here? There's not a box in here. Let's get out of here. Is it below us? There's another cave in this general ballpark.
Feel the fury.
There we go. Oh, did that elite follow us all the way down? Or are these just random Aetherblades? Oh no, so many Aetherblades.
Quiet.
Explain this to me again. She needs a kind of dragon expert.
She has every possible resource in Campa at her disposal. Why does she feel to find her a dragon expert?
Apparently, they're in short supply, so she needs us to import one.
A dragon expert?
Yeah. I was thinking you could go to Radisson, maybe ask...
I know someone.
What?
I know someone.
You think they'd be willing to come?
No question. I know exactly what he wants to hear.
Okay, so remember the...
Commander, need you ASAP. We may have just found our lead.
I'll take that. Hey, know how long it took to find that thing?
Alright, so, let's see. First thing is, previous video gave us a timeline for Anka's rising through the Aetherblade ranks as well. In the previous, or not video, previous audio, she was first mate. So here, this is a captain discussing a mission with a first mate. And that's, that mission was the kidnapping of Goric, right? That's literally what they were discussing there. Now, we can immediately go talk to Jory from here because Jory has a lead. But in the interest of lore, we're going to go ahead and listen to the last two audio. There's also an achievement for listening to all the audio. I don't see it up. Maybe I did it during 0 to 0, which I don't recall, but maybe we did. We're going to do it again, though. Try and capture all this.
2 seconds holding this gun. I can already tell you, you'll never hit what you're aiming at.
I know the sight's off because I'm having trouble shooting things. That's obvious. My question is, can you fix it?
Maybe. Depends.
Renyak, this doesn't have to be tedious.
The others. What did they say about me?
I don't know. That you're insecure? Ex-slavers like you don't get by on personality. You want to succeed in the Aetherblades? Get results.
All right. How?
At this very moment, you can start by fixing my gun.
So this is an interesting thing. I don't know if this is simply an exchange between Anka and Renyak, and I believe Renyak is actually the boss in the meta event on this map, which takes place up here. No, that's an Oni, but it takes place like inside here. Or if we're meant to perceive that there may be some history to this gun, we'll get to see the gun firsthand. And then you can also, if you're a necromancer, It's basically your elite spec weapon, the Ascended version, for End of Dragons. I think it looks kind of dumb, personally. But I'm wondering if there's some history there, if maybe the components were taken from what was left of Scarlet's weapon or something like that. I'd have to look into that. I have no idea. That just popped into my head. Anyway, okay, so here's the last log.
I'm going to see him again. I hated Gorik once. Resented how oblivious he was. To me. To the world. Now. I don't feel anything. Sitting on these crumbling ruins at the edge of the world. I'm looking out at emptiness. We're like ants, scuttling through life until we die. And then nothing's left but bones and rubble. The stars, the gods, the dragons. Our lives are a rounding error on the scale of their existence. Screw it. I won't be a rounding error.
So I think Anka is one of their better villains. In some ways, Anka represents what they failed to do with like Palawa Joko and some of the other kind of feeble efforts at making like an actually interesting villain. They did a really good job.
Some little rat thing with pointy hands?
Well, hello, Commander. Say, didn't you just beat this gentleman's friends to a pulp?
Yeah, looks like I forgot one.
We found him roaming around out here. Seems he was piecing this together. I recall Blish using similar components in his portal research. Appears to be a tool for mist traversal.
Shame if we accidentally dropped it off a scenic overlook. And I hear the mists are lovely this time of year, too.
Careful with that. We need... Fine. What do you want? Make it quick.
Anka cited a professional interest in Elder Dragon research, namely Aurene. Care to elaborate?
You're asking the wrong guy. Anka does the dragon stuff. And maybe my Trin? Who knows anymore?
Sounds a bit uncertain.
Cause it doesn't matter. There's better things coming. Big plans. The Jade Winds are a-changin'.
Care to elaborate on these big plans, Air Fiend?
Rude to my associate and off-topic. Commander, would you teach this bozo some manners?
It's weird that when they have him belch, like it's not a belching noise, it's just like a and I'm wondering if that's because nobody, while playing this game, like especially with a headset on, wants to have like a belch noise like right in their ears, right? Like that would be odd. That'd be horrible. I'm assuming that's what that's about there. So we got Gorik and Marjorie conducting like this interrogation here, and they're gonna need help, I guess. We're gonna teach this bozo some manners. Hey, bozo. Look, you know who I am. Let's not make this difficult.
Okay. I don't know what the plans are. Just heard some higher-ups mentioning. Look, I fixed stuff, cleaned the galley, might run a few errands. Nobody's telling me nothing.
Gods, we're beating up the maintenance guy? This isn't helping anything. Let him go.
Can you just give it back?
Damn it! What'd you do that for, you little dweeb? Seems to have gotten stuck in these pointy hands. I could probably repair it quite easily, but I have work to do.
Hey, so when are you stopping by the MinSec office for those files? Connie's got to lock up at some point. She really doesn't like working overtime.
Detective, can you please stop hacking our private communications?
I'm not hacking. For the love of... Commander, if you want those files, then they're waiting at the MinSec office. Don't try any funny business.
I understand. I'll be there soon.
Hacker!
In fairness to Rama, he's not hacking. Like it's an open channel. Marjorie, what are your thoughts on everything? Why can't I? There we go.
I guess we got a lead out of him. A little cryptic, but I can work with it.
I've never felt so alive! Now I know how the Mantis feels as it closes in on its prey.
Take it easy, tough guy. That was pretty badass. But there is a certain finesse to this job. We'll practice. You can try being good cop next time.
Alright, next time, Gorik, be the good cop. I like Gorik as the bad cop. I like Gorik here. Like, and really throughout End of Dragons, I think Gorik is a lot of fun. Some folks found certain aspects of Gorik being this version of Gorik to be a little bit off-putting. I did not, but I guess, you know, that's a pretty subjective thing, right? Alright, so Akane is staying late so we can pick up these files. I guess we should go pick up the files. As pleasing as it might be to keep Akane late. Leviathan's taking place. There's a reason people heavily farm that. Like, the profit's pretty high on it, even though it's like really like a pretty stupid event, at least in my opinion. But it's worth it. Let's see. Did I miss the stairs? Where are the stairs? There are stairs. We can also just fly up there with Sky Scale, but there are stairs. Which presumably people don't scoot up in a skimmer, but this should look familiar. After all, it's also where we were locked up in jail. We were in jail right over here. Here is the jail. That was my cell. Is it occupied now? I can't. Is that someone in there? Yeah, what do we got going on? There's someone in there. Wow, okay. A land of rule breakers. Akane, I'm here for those files.
Akane, right? Detective Rama gave me permission to be here.
Okay, yeah, that's totally interesting.
I'm gonna dig through your archives.
In the back, knock yourself out. Ooh, I'll be keeping a close eye on you.
So the first time I did this, I legit thought Akane might be keeping a close eye on me, or like maybe these guys would catch me like looking through stuff. Nah, you can just look at whatever. Like, go bananas.
Is that what you were looking for?
It's not Akane, but I thought it was worth checking. Yep, things. So really all these things are like a source of lore, and there is an achievement for opening all of them, which we can do. We can look at all of them. Akane will say something to us each time. I'm not going to belabor, like I'm not going to take the time to read each one of these because I don't think it really adds like a lot to the story. Like here, we can get a little bit of background on Minister Lee and kind of what he's got going on and like what kind of security guy he is.
Hey, what do you think of Minister Lee?
There we go. Have we read everything now? It looks that way because we got the achievement, right? So this is for all the recordings and all the things in here. Okay, this is the one that matters.
The Aetherblades must be marking their territory.
So what the commander says out loud that we can't see with the bubble because this thing's open is Cogskull, huh? Aetherblades must be marking their territory. Yes. Let's see, where is it? The common description seems to be a cog or skull with a sword in the foreground. Okay. Akane, we are very grateful for the assistance.
Got what I need, I think. Thanks for your help, Akane.
Alright, we should let her go home. She's apparently tired of being at work. Bye. Bye, Akane. Oh, wrong mount.
I'm at Orbean's cave. You need to get over here. Like, right now.
I'm on my way.
Oh, drama. Big drama. Big drama that we are not going to... Well, how long is it? Nah, we're not going to bother with this. We'll pick this up next time. I think we're at about where we want to be today. Soybeans. Introduced with End of Dragons. Not previously available in the game. I'm sure they have a use. I've never used them. I haven't done much cooking since the launch of End of Dragons. I should. Surely there is use for soybeans. Alright, well, anyway. Let's wrap it up here for today. So, we have made some inroads, right? We are now on good terms with the Empress, sorta, who has at least given us some permission to look into this Aetherblade business, which we care about because they're the reason that we ended up here in the first place. They're the ones who kidnapped Gorik. We got a lot of background story on the Aetherblades, which I think is really interesting. And we need that now because we made a commitment to the Empress and to various other Madame June, who's the Empress's sister and the person who's revolutionized Cantha with her jade technology, and Minister Lee, who's the Minister of Security here in Cantha. We made a promise to all these folks that we were going to get to the bottom of this Aetherblade business. So we really should keep that commitment, right? We also, like that promise was made by Casimir, so we kind of owe it to Casimir to follow up. So we're making progress on that. We have a clue about how we might find an Aetherblade hideout here, but right when we were about to do that, we've been interrupted because there's some kind of emergency with Irene. So we're going to follow up on that emergency next time when we come back. So until then, I hope you have a good week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much.